Hello, everybody. How you all doing this evening? Or, um, morning? Because I think Mason, it's morning for Mason. It's got to be like what? It's what, 7, almost 8 o'clock? So I think he's 6 hours ahead. It's got to be like what, 3 in the morning? 2 in the morning? 4 in the morning? Something like that. So how's everybody doing? So I haven't done hot take tuna or fermented or whatever in a while. It's been busy. Oh, 2:45 a.m. Okay. Yeah. So I guess this is going to be the announcement part real quick. I am not looking for sympathy for you guys, from you guys or anything like that. I've been kind of keeping it a secret, and I'm not going to give all the details right now, but we've got some family health issues involving one of my daughters, and streaming has kind of taken a back seat to that. And so I've just been really hanging out more with my kids, my wife, and going to work, and that's really been kind of what it's been about as of late. Not many people know what's going on, and I kind of want it to stay that way for right now. We will cross that bridge when it's time to cross that bridge here in the next few months. But that's kind of why I haven't been around, and I apologize to you guys because I have not been 100% honest with you guys as to what's going on. And I don't like to air out my personal stuff like that, because I am not an e-beggar. I am not somebody. I don't do this for money. I do this because I find it enjoyable, and I like hanging out with you guys and being entertained by you guys. And somehow, some way, I entertain you guys. I can never figure it out. Like I can't wrap my mind around how every time I start up a stream or make a video, I don't get like why you guys come and watch my amateur ass, but I appreciate it, and I thank you guys all for it. Really, I do. You guys make this extremely enjoyable for me, and I love all of you guys for that. Thank you, Jim and Grizz and everything. Yeah, can up, yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on. Just got some medical stuff going on right now, and hopefully in the next couple of, I say couple of months, but it's really going to be about probably 8 months or so before we can really get this all taken care of and figure out exactly how we're going to handle it. But it is what it is. It's life. It's things that you got to deal with. And, you can either sit around and mope about what's going on, or you can pull up in most of our cases, because I don't think very many females watch this, but you can pull up your big boy pants and go and get it taken care of, or deal with it the way you need to deal with it. Or you can, like I said, just sit there and wallow in your own sadness and depression and just make it worse for yourself. And I choose to not do that. I'm sorry I haven't told you guys what's going on, and I'm still going to keep this close because there's a lot of things at play right now. So I'll let you guys know when I feel more comfortable on the more of the details, so to speak. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not doing this for sympathy. I'm not doing this for any reason. I'm just letting you guys, for any reason other than to just let you guys know what's going on in my life. It's not because I don't like you guys. It's not because I don't like streaming. It's not because I don't like Star Citizen or anything like that. You just, you know, I don't know. I wasn't comfortable yet sharing it. So yeah, Mason, I don't think, if I wasn't, if I didn't have to work and, I didn't have to get up out of this chair sometimes to go to the bathroom, I probably would never wear pants. Yeah, you guys are great. Yeah, I agree, Sliver. Yeah, it's the hardest thing to do, I think, in life is to, number one, is feeling sorry for yourself. It's getting out of that is probably the hardest part. And then, when you do have problems in your life that you need help with, it's extremely hard to ask for help, especially, and I don't want to speak for all men, but especially for men. Asking for help is one of the hardest damn things to ever do. And if you do ask for help, at least if you ask for help from me, I am not gonna look at you as less than, because we all need help. We all have issues in our life that sometimes we just can't handle, and we have to ask for help, even if it's just for some advice. Anyways, we'll move off of that subject. The second subject is, the second announcement is, I'm probably going to take a little time off because, all right, let's start with, because it ties into Star Citizen. Let me talk about Star Citizen for a minute. Most of you guys know that I have not played Star Citizen on a regular basis for quite a long time. I pop in here, I pop in there. It's basically like whack-a-mole. I stick my head out, Star Citizen whacks me, and I stay below everything for a little while. And then, something new happens, and I'm like, oh, hey, Star Citizen. And I log in and I play, and, the mole head pops out for a few minutes or a couple of days, and then, it gets whacked again by Star Citizen, and, that's kind of how it is, right? At least for me anyways. So I want to talk to you guys about Star Citizen and the channel here for a moment. This is going to get me in a lot of hot water with the Star Citizen community, not with you guys, but the greater Star Citizen community. Star Citizen is a dog shit game that is barely held together by the fact that we have freedom of movement and things look pretty. Outside of that, it is literally a dog shit game, right? They have CryEngine, or excuse me, Lumberyard. It's the same thing. They have CryEngine. It's an FPS engine, right? And they can't even do FPS. So that's where we're at with Star Citizen, right? You would think somebody like me would be hyped up because Pyro's right around the corner, whether it's next week or in a few months from now. The new Pyro update is coming out. We finally get a second system after 3 years for me waiting. We finally get that second system, 6 years for others. And I am not hyped at all. I really just don't care. I have no hype, and that's not because you guys make it no hype for me, or the Refundians or the Karens make it no hype for me. I'm just particularly not hyped for it. It just, I don't know how to explain it. I just don't really care that much. Will I jump in there? Yeah, probably for a day or two and see what the hype is all about, and then I'll be gone again, because I feel that Star Citizen used to be a fun game, and now it's bogged down by tedium and boring gameplay of box Tetris and slow movement speeds of master modes, and desync still a problem. Falling through planets has gotten worse. Random exploding ships has gotten worse. Elevators not working, gotten worse. Hangars not working, gotten worse. Everything has continually gotten worse since when I first started playing. So I just don't care. So that's where we're at with Star Citizen as far as me playing it. Now, the channel and what I plan on doing going forward. Tonight is probably going to be the last super Star Citizen heavy hot take Tuna Tuesday we do. All right. I want to move away from Star Citizen. Will I still cover it? Yes. But it's going to be more about major announcements or major changes or things like that, because I just simply cannot be bothered to cover a game that does not well, somebody said, I think it was Wiser, it's not a game yet. It's a tech demo. It's tech demo layers on top of each other. Will I do major announcements? Yes. Will I do major changes? Yes. Will I occasionally find something funny and want to share it with you guys? Yeah. But as far as it goes, covering Star Citizen, it just like Pyro, it just doesn't really interest me anymore. It's usually the same old regurgitated shit over and over again. There's a few channels that I enjoy. Pagan's one of them. Marcus is one of them. Voidy still does funny stuff, and there's a few other guys. And if I forgot your name, I apologize. But for the most part, it's the same regurgitated shit month after month, week after week, day after day, and I'm just kind of over it, right? I still love Star Citizen, and I still want it to be a great game, but it's not where it should be right now, and it's not going to be where it should be for quite a long time. And I'm happy to just sit and wait, and I'll play it when it gets there. But now, as far as the channel goes, I'm still mulling over it. It's going to remain scarred in one way or another, but I'm going to take the channel into more of a variety gaming. I mean, I've been doing it for almost a year now, but much more variety gaming. Hot Take Tuna Tuesdays will be covering more pop culture, gaming news, gaming announcements, new game trailers, etc. And I'd like to just, as I said, slowly move away from Star Citizen. The reason... basically, I know I'm committing channel suicide because I'd say 90% of my viewers are here because of Star Citizen, and it sucks because I am going to be letting down a lot of people and whatnot, but I don't see a point in covering it for a while. As I said, I will still jump in, I'll still play it occasionally, but I probably won't stream it. If I do, it'll be with, you guys, Grumpy, Blackjack wants me to come back and pirate with them, but, I really don't, anything. I just don't feel it. Yeah, it's Star Citizen scarred me for life. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep the same channel tone, the same colors, the same name for the most part. But that's fair enough, JT. That's fair. That is, you are right. But something like, Scarred Casual Gaming or Scarred for Life Gaming or, Scarred Gaming, or I don't know, something along that, area, cat videos. I mean, sure, I can do some cat videos. Everybody likes a video with some good pussy in it, right? I have to kind of whisper. My daughters are right outside the door. So anyways, what else? Do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything else. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do some reacts, and like I said, you definitely are, Mason. This is going to be a very Star Citizen heavy hot take Tuna Tuesday because, like I said, I am going to move away from it, and there's going to be some spicy takes by myself and some of the other content creators. And if you don't like people being overly critical about Star Citizen, this might be the place, the point in the video or the stream or the VOD or whatever where you turn me off and unsubscribe, because it's gonna get nasty. But before we do Star Citizen stuff, as I said, we're gonna do some more video game stuff. Let's check out the new thing that happened. I know a few of you guys watched the video, but let's check out this new thing that happened in Helldivers, right? I've been waiting for this for a while, and yeah. This is the new Helldivers update. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm enjoying the absolute hell out of it.
Omens of Tyranny is our big new update for Helldivers that introduces some of the long-awaited features into Helldivers 2, such as the Illuminati.
Hey, I don't know why that was trying to do a pop-up, but hey, I'm glad that my pop-up killer killed that. I'm gonna let you guys know, like, I was playing Marvel Rivals with Grumpy late one night, right? All you guys are sleeping. It was like 2 a.m. I stepped outside for a quick break, and I come back, and Grumpy's going, "Oh my God, the new Helldivers update is available. Let's go play." So I played it with them, right? And what was crazy is they had dropped the trailer, but none of the new stratagems were there. The new vehicle buggy thing was not there. Nothing was there. It was just the new planets and the Illuminate. And I gotta say, playing that with no new stratagems, no way to know what's coming at you until you just get in, was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. You know, no new metas had been created, no wear this armor, take this stratagem, take these guns, none of that. It was just jump in and see what works, and it was a blast. It was so much fun.
Faction, vehicles, and urban warfare.
The urban warfare is a lot of fun.
The fast
you never
recon
sleep?
vehicle.
Yeah, I wish I could never sleep, but I do.
Of human technology in terms of what is fun.
It allows you to cover vast distances in a much shorter time.
So here's the thing too that I want to throw out at Star Citizen. It's become more of a game of tedium and less about what's fun. You know, I'm sure some of you guys really enjoy moving boxes, but for me, I worked in the warehouse industry for a long time, and I worked in the retail industry for a long time. Stacking boxes, stacking pallets, moving boxes off of trucks into the warehouse, from the warehouse back into trucks, having quick turnarounds. I don't view it as fun for me to jump into Star Citizen and be like, well, what are we going to do now? Well, we got to move a box off the ship that you just pirated onto somebody else's ship, then fly it to another location and offload the boxes, hope they fit on the elevator / hope the elevator works. Then when we're done there, because they can only take so much, we got to go to another spot, unload those boxes onto another elevator and send that down. And then we can finally go back to pirating again, because you can't just go to those areas by yourself and offload because they're dangerous. And I don't mind that. I'm not one that shies away from PvP, but it's boring. It's boring gameplay. I don't want to do that. I did it for many years of my life. I'm a professional box jockey. I don't want to keep playing with boxes, even when in a video game. It's not fun to me. It's really not fun to me at all. This is fun. This is pure, unadulterated fun. And I think if you guys haven't tried Helldivers, try it out. just really try it out. It's a cheaper game. All the updates are free. I won't get into the war bonds because the war bonds thing is kind of scuzzy to me, but hey, to each their own. Give Helldivers a try. I really, it feels like it brought back a lot of older video game stuff that's just 100% fun.
Completely made to make sure that you are safe inside the car.
Exactly,
Sure,
Cosmic.
some people may die.
Oh, wow.
The Illuminate
These guys are a lot of
an
fun.
ancient civilization. They once had this sprawling empire ruling over the Milky Way that we destroyed after the First Galactic War. The Illuminates were exiled
first
from the
Helldivers
galaxy.
game.
Humanity fought them defeated. The Illuminates have been scheming and plotting a way to strike back at Super Earth. They hate freedom and want to destroy us. These aliens, they're scary.
They are pretty scary.
Fighting the Illuminates will be a lot different from fighting the other factions. You will be a lot less able to just go in guns blazing, and you have to be thoughtful.
This guy is Yusuf. He is absolutely correct. That's a bad pause. Sorry, bro. They are much different than the bugs. They are much different than the automatons. Yeah, there's like space zombies, but the actual Illuminate themselves, they're not as easy to take out as a lot of the bugs and automaton units.
About how you approach them. They are a lot fewer in number, but a lot more powerful per enemy, and that means you have to spend quite a while fighting each individual, which is pretty different from the other factions. They've been attacking our colonists and abducting them and transforming them into horrible monsters called the Voteless.
The Voteless?
Former
okay,
citizens
interesting.
of Super Earth. They
I just
have
call them space
lost
zombies.
their minds and something even deeper, which
Lots of
is their
sentry turrets.
ability to vote, which is the worst possible thing that could happen to a citizen of Super Earth. These voteless have a really interesting game
voters.
mechanics around them. Their sight is poor,
he said
but their
voteless,
hearing
not
is
voters.
pretty good. Stealth mechanics will be something that you can use at great advantage.
Interesting.
They'll follow
I
the
didn't
commands
do
of their
that.
masters. Their
I didn't know that.
They are obviously beyond saving. You can tell just by
Smeh.
looking at them how gross they are. We just have to free them by offering them the sweet embrace of death.
These guys are fun to fight
shepherds
against.
the voteless around and tells them where to go when they discover a threat.
You're fighting something that is a...
So have you guys ever seen the original Stargate movie? Their spear laser things remind me of the ones from Stargate. They're cool. I like them. And the armor makes them very tough to bring down. I look, because a game is hard doesn't make it unfun. Making a game hard makes it fun. Sometimes it gets frustrating, but if a game is too easy, like, then why play it? I like playing games that make me have to think outside of the box. Like, I like Alien because I have to think outside of the box. What I don't like about Alien is being scared all the time. But I like games that provide a challenge. A game has to have challenge. Otherwise, there's no point in playing it. How many times have we bought games, there's no challenge in it, and a half an hour, maybe even 6 hours in, you're just like, why am I playing this? I feel that video games need to have a challenge.
conscious thinking enemy, but still not as smart as a Helldiver.
They
That's
are
true,
super
Joe.
advanced war machines that lay siege to the colonies.
The tripods are really cool.
If you're really good at sneaking around, you might get some pot shots in before it knows that you're there, because it only activates its shield once it goes into combat.
Every time I see a snail now, I think of the snail
In Omens of
games
Tyranny,
and
you'll be fighting
for the stars.
Illuminates in urban environments. These tight corridors require a different style of strategy. You might end up in situations where you're caught in a dead end, overrun by voteless zombies. The colonies are being specifically targeted by the Illuminate. We're not yet sure why, but we do know that they have an interest
To make
in
more
abducting
zombies.
our civilians and in constructing these sort of mysterious monoliths inside of our colonies.
Boom!
Omens of Tyranny is the patch you've been asking for since launch.
We're so happy to finally be able to get
I'm
the
really
elements
liking
in your
this.
hands.
This
Super's colonies are
update
under
is
attack
amazing.
as we speak. So get out there now, Helldivers, and kill some aliens.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't, check it out. I know Mr. E has. I have. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Uh-oh. What am I? Okay. I'm a part. It's the holidays, so there's a lot of group group texts going around. So as I said, if you haven't tried this, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. Alrighty. So I was gonna cover this. PvP equals griefing, so I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I'm going to keep it very short and simple. Every few months this comes up, right? I'll bring this up just so we know what's going on. Right? He's looking at Spectrum. This is Salty Mike. He's looking at Spectrum, and Spectrum is on fire with the PvP thing again, right? Every few months this comes up in Star Citizen. What I don't understand is why everybody is so damn allergic to PvP. And I'm gonna break this down even simpler, right? Pyro is out. Pyro is lawless. Pyro is supposed to be where all the PvP happens, right? So not too long ago, before Pyro was even in testing, people are like, I can't wait until Pyro's available. Then all the murder hobos can go to Pyro and do their PvP over there because I don't want it in Stanton, right? Well, now that Pyro is here, these dumbasses are going to Pyro and getting shot down and going, the PvP is griefing, man, in Pyro. No, you are a fucking idiot. That's exactly where you go to not have law interfere with you killing other players. And I do not understand why this is now suddenly a thing. Again, you're going to an area where you're expected to PvP, and then you're crying that there's PvP there. The stuff, you know, and this goes back to some of my other complaints on Star Citizen, right? Star Citizen is a dog shit game that's barely held together by some pretty ships, the ability to free fly wherever you want, right? And I get that, and it's cool. And to some people that think these unfinished gameplay loops like mining and salvaging and cargo running and bounty hunting and all of that is fun, and it can be fun. The Star Citizen community, for the most part, I'm talking about a large majority, not all of you, are also dog shit and fucking crazy. Because you pay large amounts of money in this game, you feel that you should be untouchable. Nothing bad should ever happen to you, and God forbid it does, because you are going to take to Spectrum or Reddit or some YouTuber's video and bitch about griefing because somebody shot at you. Right? I don't get this. And Canop, you're correct. Stanton is also for PvP. It's a medium security zone, right? And PvP should be able to happen no matter where, even in a high sec area, right? Even if it's high security, you should still be able to PvP. I'm not advocating that the person that committed the murderous act in a high security zone be able to get out of there without being unscathed, because that should not happen in a high security area. But medium security, low security, no security, you should be able to murder at will and pretty much get away with it. Yeah, you might have a bounty on your head. Yeah, you might be wanted, but okay, that was your life choice in a video game. What's up, Diz? This whole I'm out in Pyro sightseeing, why did you shoot at me, needs to stop. You guys are nuts. You guys are absolutely nuts. And I don't agree with the many extreme Bob or Care Bear takes when it comes to Pyro needs to be a safe zone now. Like I don't understand that. I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. You guys have been begging for this for years, and now it's here, and now you're bitching because people are PvPing in a system that is no security. Like, come on, guys. Yeah, I agree, Canop. Like if you go into a high sec area and you take down the communications, it also should be very difficult to take down communications in a high security section. And the space police should be coming to check that out. The sudden security's dropping. You murdering somebody right outside of a space station in a high security zone, the space police should be right there ready to deal with it. Like it shouldn't be easy for you to get away with PvPing in a high security area, but it should be allowed, right? That's how I feel about it. Right? If you're in medium security, then yeah, the response time is going to be slower. You should be able to zoom in, do some station stomping for a few minutes, and then zoom out. And yeah, you got a bounty on your head. Yeah, players might be coming after you. Yeah, maybe some brain dead NPCs will follow you, but you should be able to mostly get away without a problem. Same in low security, and then no security. Obviously, it's anything goes, right? But people don't seem to understand this, grasp it, or even want to deal with it. It's really the Star Citizen community is super messed up. It's super messed up. They're really nice to you when you want help or you need help explaining like what kind of money you want to spend in the game, but outside of that, it gets really weird really fast. Like it's weird. I don't get it. So we have a couple of different things I want to go over. We're going to do it a twofer. One's a short one, one's a longer one. The first one is by Carl Kaput and the problem with operator modes.
Operator mode. The next evolution of the flight model in Star Citizen will change how flight feels. Of course, this is being met with mixed opinions. The flight will be slower as nav mode will only be for quantum boost, which means for those annoying missions that have no quantum markers, you'll have to fly for even longer than you do now. Except there's one very important caveat to this. Once you upgrade your thrusters, you'll be able to travel at the current nav mode speeds. Now, I see people...
So here's my thing. I don't like master modes. I don't like going as slow as we go. I don't like having to flip in and out of SCM to nav mode to, he's in what's called flight mode right now because the quantum thing isn't up and you can't see all the quantum markers everywhere. I don't like it. I have never liked it. I tried it when you couldn't change modes and it was in Arena Commander. I tried it after they updated it in Arena Commander. I tried it when it went live. I just don't like it. I don't get it. I really don't enjoy it. It was supposed to fix desync and lag and player positioning and all of this other stuff, and it doesn't do any of that. Oh, and it was supposed to fix jousting, but jousting is actually worse now than it was in the previous flight model. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think, and he's about to say it, I don't think operator modes is going to fix it. Mr. E, you're not wrong. I saw you. Yeah, he's in nav mode and then flipped it to flight mode. So you can go to nav mode and then it says quantum, whatever it says, quantum something something right here in red because he's not lined up, and then you'll have the quantum markers all over the place. So he went to nav mode and then went into flight mode, which is, it's the same thing as nav mode. You just don't get the quantum markers and you don't get the quantum calibration in red right here.
People complaining about this. They worry that combat will continue to feel slow, but in my opinion, the speeds don't matter much. It's the speed wall that has more of an effect as it severely hampers your agility during the fight. Once you upgrade your ship, you can push that speed wall up higher, but the biggest problem I see with this, as stated by Rich Tyra, is that if you're a combat player like myself...
Okay, before he gets into that, okay, he does have a point. The speed doesn't have to go higher. What needs to go higher is acceleration. The acceleration needs to go higher. And I'm not talking about forward. I'm talking about side to side, up and down. using your bottom thrusters should be more powerful than using your top thrusters to push down. Going forward should give you more acceleration than going backwards. And I've always said this, going backwards needs to be cut almost in half. So modern jet airplane games, they follow more of a triangular mode. So if this is you going forward, you get more power going forward than you do anything else, right? Star Citizen kind of uses a circle, and if you're in the middle, you can move freely in all directions. And the old flight model, you used to be able to get kind of being able to go the same speed in every direction, right? They've made it more, I can't do it with my hand, elliptical this time around with master modes, but they need to make it even more elliptical, more egg-shaped, because you shouldn't be able to go as fast or accelerate as fast going straight backwards than you can going forwards, right? So that's my 2 cents. But yeah, and he's talking about the crafting. So getting a hold of blueprints and creating tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 thrusters and engines for your ship, similar to engineering in Elite Dangerous. It's going to be pretty much left to the big orgs and the extremely PvE focused player groups. And without a legit trading system, it's going to be hard for PvE players to get a hold of that stuff. People will argue, yes, there's trading, sort of, but this game, for the most part, a lot of people have the mentality of shoot first, ask questions later. So what's going to happen is people are going to bring these components. They're going to have to do it out in the open, or they're going to do it in an armistice zone. And one of two things is going to happen. If they do it out in the open, somebody's either not going to show because they think they're getting bait, right? Right? You think you're getting baited, or people are going to show up, see the component, blast everybody, take their stuff, and not get, and the other person's not going to get paid, right? So those are the two scenarios I see happening when trying to trade player to player out in the open with the way it's set up now. The other problem I see is you're going to go to an armistice zone, you're going to drop down the component, right? Some third party is going to walk over and gank it from the both of you. And now that you're in an armistice zone, there's nothing you can do to get it back, right? So, yeah, I can... And now those are extreme examples. I think there needs to be an actual trade system in this game. As much as I don't want to say a kiosk, but we might need another kiosk where you click on it, you put up what you want to sell and the price and how long it's going to stay up for sale. And then somebody can click on that and be like, yeah, I want it for X amount of alpha UEC, or maybe they can put it in there. I have this component, I want 4 railguns. They can put 4 railguns in there and sell it. But yeah, that we're definitely going to need that. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is really far down the line. They say 18 months ish, 1.0 is coming. I think it's more like 3-ish or more years down the road. So, and we all know what's going to happen. Things are going to be implemented, and then we're going to have to wait for the other thing to be implemented, and then we're going to have to wait for the next thing to be implemented, and so on down the line. So I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains before we see, as Bendy is saying, player stores, player kiosks, or trading kiosks, whatever. We'll probably have crafting first and then not have the trading, but I hope they don't do that. But going off of reputation and history, that's probably what's going to happen.
You have to rely on player trading to get this.
I like Elite's flight model for the most part.
This is a huge problem, as we now have to wait for non-combat players to progress in order to upgrade. Unless, of course, CIG sells ship upgrade packs to increase the speed wall, which, let's be honest, is going to happen considering CIG's pattern of behavior. You might be thinking,
oh, that's another thing that I have a huge problem with. Is for those of you that think they are not going to put blueprints in the store or fully made components in the store up to a certain tier, you're wrong. They're going to do it. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, they're gonna do it. This stuff is gonna end up on a pledge store page somewhere. I hate to say that, but as Carl said, going off of their pattern of behavior, their past history, and their current reputation, it's going to end up on a pledge store page somewhere, and it's going to become very pay to win if they do that. And I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. I think it's bad enough that you can already go on there and buy at a very bad exchange rate. Alpha aUEC, you can buy armor and weapons. I don't like seeing that stuff on there. The ships, okay, that's one thing.
It's not so bad. I'll just buy myself one. But no, this is not a good thing. This turns Star Citizen into a pay-to-win game, and none of us want that. As someone who gets his jollies from low flying, I want to be able to fly as fast as possible around a moon to test my reflexes and pilot skills. So I will essentially be forced to buy those packs because watching paint dry is more fun than low flying at SCM speeds. And I don't want to have my gameplay limited by a bunch of bobs who will inevitably charge ridiculous amounts of in-game money because they tend to be greedy. I mean, we all saw that.
Yes. So when I pirated people, Bungus, what's up, man? When I pirated people, we would often give them an out. Like, we have them, you know, we have the quantum snare up, we got guns on them, we've already brought down their shields, and we would type in global or talk to them over VoIP. You know, you got $18 million in your ship, give us 4 and we'll let you go. And I cannot tell you how many times we would just be told flat out no. They would ask, well, why did you hit me and not the other guy? Because you don't have any escorts. You're all alone. We can see you're all alone. You know, it's the same thing. They just want all the money, and that's the way it's going to continue to be that way. Yeah, I made some announcements earlier at the beginning of the stream, Allergic, and you'll if you go back and watch it, you'll understand why I'm doing so much Star Citizen stuff today. But yeah,
their reaction when it came to the new missile prices, and we see how reluctant they are to hire escorts when doing their bob shit. Honestly, at this point, I'm convinced CIG...
My only problem with the missile prices was this. Like, it does need to go up. The missiles need to go up. The bombs need to go up. All of that needs to go up, right? Refueling needs to go up. Quantum prices need to go up. Everything needs to go up. I agree with that. The problem is that right now, as the game stands, I don't feel that's a very good idea. And I hate to sound like very, very Bobonian right now, but here's the problem. Ships are randomly exploding. Ships are getting stuck in hangars. You're getting yeeted out of your ship in quantum if you happen to touch the wrong MFD, or you're pushing on an MFD and you happen to accidentally push that big giant F right next to the MFD for eject, right? And you have to claim these ships, right? Your ship gets stuck to the ground at a pad somewhere, right? There's all kinds of there's a almost unlimited amount of bugs involving ships right now where you might have to claim your ship, and claiming your ship and not getting any missiles back and then having to pay for them. And there's no way, unless they change this between me watching and now, there's no way for you to land a ship and be like, yeah, I want just my flares, just my noise, and just my, I don't know, ADB5 ammo back, right? It's all or nothing. You either get to buy all the missiles at the upgraded price, your ballistic ammo, your flares, and your noise all back in one shot. Like, I want to see the ability to change that, right? Yeah, I agree with that, Mace. But as I said, like, it's like even the starter ships, right? Some of the starter ships, you're going to be doing some of your starter bounties, you know, reloading. I can't, I don't have all the ships memorized like I used to, but you got 12 size 3s. That's going to cost you what, 80 to 100,000 just to replace those at the old price. They've since redacted those prices back down. and well, the prices I think stayed the same, but you get to keep your your missiles and stuff when you claim your ship. That was my only issues. That was my only issue with the whole price increase. It's not that I disagree with it. It's not that I don't want it. No, I want all that stuff, but the claiming part I had an issue with because of how many times you have to claim your now busted ship or your busted, or you got yeeted out into space because you accidentally, you know, hit F, right? But yeah, and I think at that price, missiles need to be far more deadlier than they are now. So if I'm paying 26,000 for a size 3 or a size 4 missile, it should do a lot more damage than it's currently doing. And it should have a higher hit rate than it currently has, unless they've flared it off or they noised it off. But that's a whole nother thing all right there. That's a whole nother thing. What's up, Chase?
He has gone from sniffing bath salts to straight up smoking them. Speed shouldn't be limited by thruster power. They should increase the acceleration because acceleration is much more important in a fight than the speed.
Yeah.
Skilled pilots keep their speeds lower in fights for maximum agility and ship control. Far too many decisions are being made based on the lower skill players. We need incentives to get more skilled rather than be punished because some people don't want to develop their skills. Skills should be celebrated and encouraged.
I agree with that last part. We're too busy trying to give out participation trophies to everybody, even though they are not that good at flying. And I think that should not be happening. I think it really, really should be skill-based and not component and ship-based. But once again, that's just my opinion. Yeah, once you get down, when I was looking at the prices, Mace, once you get down to about size 4 and lower, the prices really aren't that big of a deal. Maybe when you're first starting off, it can be a big deal, and I get that, but later on down the road, size 4 and below or size 3 and below is not going to be a problem money wise. It really is not. If you are freaking out because your size 1, 2, and 3s went up in price by 77% or whatever it is, it's really not that big of a deal. You should be making enough money by then that you can restock those fully. The size 5s and higher, where the price gets really bad, once again, I have no reason why they shouldn't cost that much. It was the claim part that bothered me, and it's not because I feel that people need to be coddled. It's just that right now the current game as we see it, or the current test bed that we're playing in, is really not up to par because of random, as I said, random ship explosions. Random ships are now you can't call out of a hangar, or you can't call, so you have to basically claim it. I already went through this, but tons and tons of bugs related to ships, and I think that needs to be settled down before we do the whole you don't get your components, you don't get your weapons, you don't get your missiles back when you claim, because that's basically how it's going to be. I agree, Mace, but most of the players are going to take their torps out. So it's not going to be like every time you see a Polaris, there's going to be torpedoes on it. You're going to have to go after harbingers. You're going to have to go after eclipses. You're going to have to go after retaliators. But even then, how are you going to get those torpedoes out of those ships? Because as far as I know, you cannot take those torpedoes out of those ships. You can only do that to the Polaris, right? I'm not mistaken, right? You can't take any of those torps out of those ships. Only the Polaris, right? I'm not going crazy, right? I know you can take the bombs out of the A2. Pretty sure you can take the bombs out of the A1, but the Harbinger, the Retaliator, and the Eclipse, you cannot take those torpedoes out, if I'm not mistaken. Which should be a thing, right? All components are supposed to be physicalized, You can take them out of the Eclipse. Okay, so I stand corrected on the Eclipse. What about the Retaliator? I'm not sure about the Retaliator. The Harbinger, I know they run along the one side, but I don't think you can actually take them out. Okay, I stand corrected. I didn't think you could. Okay. Okay. Well, well, wow. CIG thinking a little bit ahead, I see. Wow. Oh my God. I'm blown away by that. I'm actually blown away by that. All right. We're going to do one more Star Citizen, and then we're going to jump to a different topic for a little bit. CIG cannot mess this up. I wonder what this is going to be about. I wonder what this is going to be about. Okay. It's 12 minutes. Let's see what this is about. What is this?
Is coming to a close, and we are
Forge Core
officially
Gaming.
in the 11th hour of 2024. Meaning CIG has less than a month to make good on what remains of their promises for the year. Namely, the delivery of Alpha 4.0, server meshing, and the second star system to come to the Star Citizen universe.
Let's just forget about the other, 300 things they promised were coming this year at the 2023 SitCon. But hey, I made that video. I was the bad guy. I was the very, very mean person in the Star Citizen community. And I nobody... Was I wrong on the Zeus? Yeah. Was it out by IAE? Yeah, it eventually made it out by IAE. But, everything else I said in that video, I was not wrong about. And everybody was quick to jump up and down on me and tell me I was wrong. And it's all coming by the end of the year. Spoiler, no engineering, no fire, no fuses, no environmental effects from grenades. I'm trying to think. No maelstrom. No. I'd be here forever trying to remember all the no's that got in there. But yeah, it's not happening.
Pyro. Now on paper, and perhaps to outsiders looking in, that doesn't sound like much. But in reality, if CIG manages to pull this off, it would be a monumental step in the right direction towards regaining public trust, as well as having a game as a base candidate for a full...
Hey, he's in a Cuddy... Oh, no, that's the Valkyrie. I thought that was the Cuddy Steel. I was like, yeah, be careful. You're going to shoot your ship up with that gun. But here's my thing. The CIG reminds me of the United States government, right? Love my country, hate my government. I'm not getting political here. I'm just using it as a metaphor. The biggest problem I have with CIG and the United States government is no matter what, they seem to find, they have the uncanny ability to just fuck it all up. And they do it very well. And, this is what we have. I'm in agreement with a lot of people here that CIG is going to drop 4.0 in whatever state it's in right before they go to break, and then they're going to be on break until the end of January, beginning of February, and then they're going to have to come back and fix a lot of things. That's what I think is going to happen. I would prefer, and I still have a percentage of me still thinks that maybe they'll wait until February or March or even April before they push 4.0 out, because every time I watch Marcus play, which unfortunately I missed his last few streams because I was at work or sleeping during the day because I'm on overnights. The last time I watched Pagan play, some randos on Twitch and or YouTube, 4.0 is not in a really good state right now, and I think it needs time to bake, and I think they should learn their lesson from 3.18 before this shit goes sideways and they become the laughingstock of the gaming community yet again, with a major update. So CIG, if you somehow watch this or listen to it, please just wait until Q1 to release it. Get some stability, get the interaction lag out of there, get the desync and player repositioning issues that you've been having, especially in contested zone. Get that stuff worked out before you release this to live. I know the greater Star Citizen audience would appreciate it more if it was in a better playable condition, and the quote-unquote gaming journalists won't have much to bitch about if you actually put it out in a, I'd say 70 to 80% working state before you know, drop it. I think that would be fantastic. But there you go.
1.0.
Oh, you sent me a DM? And welcome,
I
Grumpy.
said base candidate, as 4.0 is intended to be the canvas for which all other game features, regardless of what stage of development
we'll watch that
are
next.
built upon. And let's be honest, even with a successful release of 4.0, we are still several years away from having enough functional features in-game to even begin the conversation of a full release. In this video, we're going to discuss what's at stake in the next 30 days, what the possible outcomes are, and what the probable outcome is, and what that means for Star Citizen as we head into 2025. Before we get started, I would like to take this chance to humbly ask that you hit the subscribe button if you like Star Citizen content, and so that you don't miss out when I publish new videos. This channel is just barely a month old, so any new subscribers are greatly appreciated. Plus, it lets me know that you enjoy my content. On top of that, if you also like and comment on any video I publish.
So here's the problem, Wiser. It doesn't matter if it's at 100 players or if it's at 650 players. I'm not a coder, but this is what I am. This is what my take is on this. I feel that it's either server side or it's with their net coding. It's one of the two that is causing all of this. The player cap is never going to fix it. There is something fundamentally wrong with the net coding or the type of servers that they're using at Amazon. That's the only two things I can think of, and those have to be fixed before desyncing and player positioning and all of that. It's never going to go away until they address those problems. And that is one of the reasons why people in contested zones are being killed by ghost players right now. They're seeing the tracers, but they don't see the player. That's the problem. That is a problem right now. Elton John, Rocket Man, baby.
During the month of December, you'll be automatically entered into the ship giveaway that I'll be doing on Christmas Eve. Without further delay, let's get into it.
The players from the front does look good.
No
Players from the top, I don't like it. Players from the bottom looks good.
Both negative and positive, from anyone even remotely interested in the project. From their public backing system, their history of overpromising and underdelivering, and admittedly very high ship prices, CIG has opened themselves up for well-deserved critique from any of their backers. Now, that doesn't mean to say that all the negative feedback is warranted, and though some of it certainly is, we have to really consider what CIG is actually doing in order to fulfill the intentions they have at the core of Star Citizen and Squadron 42. You see, there are literally thousands of game development companies in just the United States.
All right, so I want to talk about Star Citizen and Squadron 42 for a quick moment here. They say it's 2 years away from being released. It's a Squadron, that is, right? How is that 2 years away and in polish if they don't even know, or they can't even settle on a flight model right now? We went for, if I'm not mistaken, this will be operator modes will be the 5th iteration of their flight model, right? I've been here for two, right? We had the one that we just had, now master modes, and soon to be within the next couple of years operator modes, right? If they don't have these nailed down, how are we going to get Squadron 42? Right? Are they going back to Squadron 42 and redoing all the flight systems again? Or are we just going to get a dull, watered down version of what we already have in Squadron 42? Because that's not going to be fun for the single player experience if that's what they're going to do. So that's my question. Like, how is it feature complete if we are going to be reworking the flight model for both of these again? This is the fourth. So operator modes will be the fifth, correct?
And an overwhelming majority of them are doing basically the same thing as each other if we look at things from a fundamental standpoint. In fact, I would venture to say that you would be hard-pressed to find even 10 game development companies that are even attempting to truly build something special the way CIG is.
Okay, once again, CIG is not doing anything special anymore. They're Planet Tech, okay, maybe when they first did it. But everything else has been done in one game or another to a degree or another. Are they mashing it all up and putting it together? Yeah, they are. Are they doing it well? No, they are not. And there's also a reason why video game development companies don't do shit like this, because you're using a lot of experimental things that don't work, that you have to force it to work, and now you're spending way more money trying to make the game than you are ever going to get out of it, right? That is a problem. And believe it or not, video game companies have to make money in order to stay afloat. And just because no other game has freedom of movement like Star Citizen doesn't mean what they're trying to do is somehow belittled because you play Star Citizen. That's not the case. There are a lot of games out there that are doing a lot of different things, but you know, you can just remain ignorant because you've spent a lot of money in Star Citizen, because that's generally what it comes down to. The more money you spend, the more ignorant you become of what other games are doing. You know, I can think of a plethora of games that do the exact same thing Star Citizen does. Now, it might be lacking in one aspect or another, but they do the same thing Star Citizen does. Oh, you want to fly down to a planet? No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, Infinite Battlescape, and Spaceborne 2, I believe. X4, I believe you can do that in as well. You want FPS combat? Well, there's a bazillion games that do FPS combat. And there's even games that combine it with that. So, you know, and I can think of a few games that are trying to make the exact same game Star Citizen is making. You got Kanga, you got, Revere's making it. Unforgiven Space. You got For the Stars. You've got, there's another one out there, and Spaceborne 2 is trying to do that as well. There's a lot of games that are now popping up to do what Star Citizen is doing. The Atlas game, the crypto one, the NFT one. I forget what it's called, Star Atlas or something like that. There's a lot of games out there that are doing exactly what they are doing. They're just not Star Citizen, right? They haven't reached $250 million of funding and have pretentious cons every year telling you what they're going to do and then not do it, right? So yeah.
Quick disclaimer, I'm not a game developer, nor do I speak the language of game development. That's not where my talents and learning skills lie, so I'm certifiably not speaking from a game development standpoint. But even without a background in game development, I can confidently state that the game CIG is building will almost certainly alter the landscape of what's considered possible in the future if they pull this off. You see, CIG isn't just using pre-built assets for anything. They're building everything from scratch, and each asset they build has to adhere to the game's physics.
Okay, they are building everything by scratch, and that's fine, but it's also turned into a copy-paste extravaganza. The asteroid bases are all copy-paste straight down, and this is in Pyro, straight down to the lockers and what's inside of them. All right. Grumpy was playing the other day on Discord while I was trying to download it, and it just would not download for me. And we saw a cluster of these rocks, right? They have a base with a kind of like a flat pyramid arrowhead looking on top on Pyro. I forget what planet he was on. And like the background mountains looked really good, but the close stuff up where it's got that little pillar with the arrowhead type looking thing on the top of formation of rocks, there's like a couple scattered around, and then he turns around and shows me, because I go, oh, this looks kind of cool, and then he turns around and there's literally a cluster of 65 of them in one spot, and it looks just absolutely god awful terrible, right? And then from there, because it wasn't downloading and the new update came out, I jumped into Helldivers, and the Helldivers environments look way better than anything I have seen on Pyro so far. I haven't been to every planet. I haven't seen the streamer take me to every planet, but a few of the planets I have seen, it's not anything over the top that makes me go, oh my god, this is so cool. It looks cool for a second, and then you start noticing a lot of weirdness in it.
Also built by them. So every cruise box,
and also everything that you see being made in this game is made in Blender, and with enough time, you can make this stuff too. I'm just saying. I'm not knocking them. I'm not saying they're doing a terrible job. Some of the stuff that they create, like some of the armors, some of the assets they do create are unique and cool looking, but I'm going to be 100% honest here. They're using Blender to create a lot of this stuff, and Blender is a free program that anybody can download and anybody can play with, and if you want to create Star Citizen assets, you can do the same thing. I'm not trying to say this to be like, oh, the artistic level of Star Citizen is awful. I'm not. Some of the stuff they do is really cool, but you can download Blender and do that. I'm not sure, Wiser. I'm not sure. There's also a lot of shops that are filled with assets they could have bought a license for and used in game, but they want to make everything. Yeah.
bottle, every broken ship fragment, every bullet in each magazine exists as its own unique item. Now I will concede that CIG's physics engine does not always work, but polish and refinement is what's coming after the release of 4.0.
CryEngine has never been known, as far as I know, as one of the better physics-based engines. Like, there's always been problems with their physics. It makes a fine FPS shooter. It looks really good for Crysis 1, 2, and 3, but as far as what they're trying to achieve in this game with their physics, I don't think CryEngine is the answer.
All of the work leading up to this was what's required for the system they designed to actually have a chance at functioning. And
that is an ugly ass ship.
Quite at a fully functioning system just yet, it's hard to not be impressed when we consider the complexity of everything in the game. Let's just consider a ship, for instance. Unlike other games, every single piece of a ship has been built separately. They aren't just shaping digital blocks of clay and calling it a ship. They're building each ship one piece at a time, and each piece needs to fit perfectly. And though things may feel clunky and far from optimized at the moment, this is naturally how big projects progress. We're still very...
Yes, but after 12 years, going on 13 now, some of the shit that we've been seeing, myself, for 3 years now, guys like Grumpy and Pagan and guys that have been here 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 9 years, they have all told me that a lot of the shit that I complain about, they've been complaining about from 4 years previous to when I started playing the game. So, yeah. Some of this needs to get fixed, and it needs to get fixed now, not later, not after more Jesus tech is brought in. It is, in my opinion, that they're getting to the point now where if they don't start addressing some of these issues, it's going to cause full down catastrophic failures later on down the road. But that's just my opinion.
Pretty much in the rough draft stages of the game's path to publication.
Same, Jim.
Said,
same.
That doesn't give CIG a free pass on everything. They're dealing with nearly a...
So far, what's this guy's name? So far for Core Gaming, you are pretty much licking their balls, telling them how good of a job they're doing and giving them a free pass. So I'm very interested to see what kind of free pass you're not going to give them.
$1 billion of publicly sourced money from backers. And that comes with some responsibility.
Comes with a lot of responsibility.
They also have a responsibility to their developers and team members whose careers ride on their abilities to ship games as final products.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, more than 90% of the company and current developers at Star Citizen right now have never completed a game. They have no completed video games, published and released to the public video games on their resumes. And the people that did have completed games on their resumes no longer work there, especially guys like Todd Pappy, which I think that was the dumbest move that they have made thus far. In my opinion, and I don't know if there's any analytics to track this, but shortly after Todd Pappy left, in my opinion, the state of the game has gotten worse. It has gotten worse.
So there's a lot at stake this next month, namely confidence in their mission. Be it from the backers that make their vision possible.
Oh yeah.
Or the developers who may need to make a choice to join other projects as a means to advance their career. Additionally, Star Citizen has become a little bit more of a household.
Yeah, he released God of War. Wasn't he on like Crisis 1 or excuse me, Crisis 2 or 3 as well? Like he was one of the guys that like actually knew how CryEngine worked and blah 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 and so on. I would have to look more in depth into that, but it is still of my opinion, and I don't have any solid analytics on this. And if somebody out there watches this and sees this, maybe you can shed some light on it. But it seems like ever since Todd Pappy left, things have gotten worse. And I don't mean like the way they talk to us or the way they share information. I mean the actual state of the game has gotten worse. But once again, I don't have any solid numbers on that.
Name after the reveal of the Squadron 42 trailer at CitizenCon 2024. I'm sure I speak for a lot of us when I say I was a lot more comfortable showing gameplay from Squadron 42 than I am trying to talk friends into playing Star Citizen. On just the Star Citizen YouTube channel, at the time of this video's publication, the Squadron 42 gameplay trailer has been viewed 806,000 times. That's not even considering the countless big-name streamers with hundreds of thousands of followers who did reaction videos for their audiences. And the natural progression from learning about Squadron 42 is learning about Star Citizen.
And how shit it is right now.
Now more than ever, the progress made on Star
3D.
Citizen is being carefully scrutinized by millions of people worldwide, some of whom don't have a decade of emotional and financial investment in the IP. So the timely and effective release of 4.0 is paramount in retaining newfound interest in Star Citizen, which would bring in a whole new wave of backers that would greatly aid in the game's development. Dropping the ball here could mean CIG struggles and consequently has to push back deadlines even further. And though a loss of new money coming into...
Here's my hot take on this. I want Star Citizen or CIG as a whole to not make even $80 million next year. I want them to have a massive shortfall. And the reason is because I don't want them to fail. That's not what I want. I want them to have to reach out to outside investors to get that funding. And then those investors, because they've now financed Chris Roberts and his dream, are now going to have to, if they want a return on their investment, they are going to hold him accountable, and they're going to hold him to a higher standard than what they've been held to so far. That's what I would like. They're not going to go to a private publisher. They're going to seek outside investors. And that's what I would like to see. I would like, because then because those investors, they want their money back and they want a higher return on their money, they will have to actually produce something that works. They will have to produce something other than just telling us to, at a sitcom, imagine this, fill in the blank. Or with Genesis, imagine what it'll be like, blah, right? I don't want to hear any more of that. I want to actually see realistic see gameplay. I want to see finished game loops. I want to see freaking Quanta or Star Economy. I want to see this stuff actually being put into the game, not imagine if. Imagine if.
Game from new backers is a bad thing. A failed launch of 4.0 or a missed deadline would further damage the already dwindling confidence that existing backers have in the project. And the die-hard long-term backers have been shown to be the primary contributors to the project's advancement year over year. Now, I'm not a fearmonger. I fully believe this project will continue and reach its goals over the next few years, and I say that as I've taken note of the trajectory of things over at CIG. And to set your minds at ease, though the game is still riddled with bugs, the pace at which things are fixed or improved has gone up dramatically. For the most part, we're no longer waiting for months at a time for a problem to be fixed.
What? You guys heard this, right? Right? I didn't hear things.
Dramatically. For the most part, we're no longer waiting for months at a time for a problem to be fixed.
We're no longer waiting for months at a time for a problem to be fixed. Wow. Let me get my tray of copium here. Oh, that's good. What was that? That was, oh, damn. Oh my God. Yeah, that's good. Hold on, let me wait for the high to come out to get. Okay, the high's gone. The high's gone. What the fuck game is he playing? Because people are still falling through planets. People are still falling through hangars. You can't call ships up into the hangar sometimes. Oh, look, your boxes disappeared when you put them on the freight elevator and hit the down button. Boxes just randomly disappear off your ship while you're traveling from point A to point B. The desync is still terrible. Oh, the hangar noises. Oh, we fixed that. Oh no, they're back. Oh, player markers have been broken for 3 months now. Scanning hasn't worked for on and off periods now for going on a year and a half. Rock mining has been busted for a year. Like, where the fuck what game are you playing? Or do you just not play? You just make videos and, lick cup Chris's balls for him and give him a little squeeze when he needs it. Like, what game are you playing? I'm sorry to come down so hard on this guy, but what fucking game are you playing, dude? I don't even play, and I can witness this and watch it on, as I said, Marcus's live streams, Pagan's live streams, and Meek's live streams, and all the other live streamers that I occasionally watch, and some of the random ones I'll just randomly click on and be like, oh, what are they doing today in 3.23? Oh, shit's broke. Got it. Okay, cool. Got it. That just blew me away.
And I don't know about you.
Yeah, the move all button took months to figure out.
Have been relatively bug free. If we ignore,
oh yeah, his gameplay sessions are relatively bug free. My ass. Yeah.
Planet-side freight elevators and the Phase 3 Safe Stanton mission. With that said, however, I believe there are a few possible outcomes over the next month leading into 4.0.
I think that's our Marcus on an alt account.
First possible outcome, of course, is the best case scenario in which CIG releases 4.0 before the end of December 2024, and it works. At least well enough that the players get to enjoy Pyro and a moderate portion of what it has to offer.
Okay, this guy is not... This is... Oh, you're not Marcus Wynn? Okay. This guy is... not sniffing copium. Like, he's shooting this directly into the vein. Like, he is mainlining this.
The second possible outcome is completely because the number of features aren't working that would break the gaming experience for many players. The third possible outcome, and in my mind the worst case scenario, is that CIG pushes 4.0 out the door come hell or high water, and it is far from being complete and ready to play. Unfortunately, if we take recent history as any indicator, that's what's most likely going to happen. And the reason I think that is because CIG has a marketing schedule that they've outlined well in advance. With IE wrapping up, they need a December/end of year promotion to close out the year on a high
relatively
note. At least that's what I'm seeing based on recent trends. I also think CIG has realized the player base reacts poorly to push deadlines. And based on the recent patterns of them releasing unfinished ships just because they said they would, I think that's the metric they're trying to beat.
You guys all ready for another 318? You guys ready? And then they're going to be like, we didn't have enough player data to know that this was going to happen.
Fortunately, I don't
like they did in 318. Oh, we didn't have enough player data. Now, Marcus, not the Marcus that's here right now, but Marcus Marcus and I and Canop and many other people all sent feedback to them saying that this is not ready. You guys need to wait a little bit longer. And well, they didn't, and things broke. And if you guys remember, for me, I played a long stretch of DayZ with Grumpy because I was account locked from week 2 of 318.0 till the drop of 319.1. 2.5 months, almost 3 months. No Star Citizen, completely account locked. Many emails to support, and many of them going with the generic stuff of trying to, you know, delete user folder and all of that stupid shit. And eventually it got to just wait for the next patch.
Many higher ups at CIG are really keeping an eye on the climate of the player base.
No, they're not. They don't give a shit.
They would have likely seen that a completely broken game elicits a far worse sentiment than that of a delay in patches. I don't know about you, but I would much rather deal with the delay in the release of 4.0 than deal with a completely broken game that's the result of a rushed project push. If they do choose to push it out, regardless of whether or not it works, then CIG will be off for a very rough start going into 2025. There are only so many times that players can feel like they got duped before they refuse to contribute anymore. And if the noise made by players...
Which is why I have literally not spent a dime of my money on this game, and going on 2 years now. Like, I'm done. I'm not going to give them any more money. Between what I've pledged for and my peripherals that I've bought for this game, I'm well in over $1,000 now, and I'm done. I'm not giving them any more money. I'm not going to be buying extra hardware for this game. If suddenly my computer can't run it and I need to upgrade my motherboard, my CPU, my RAM, my video card, then I'm just not going to play. It's not worth it. This game is not worth it to me at this point in time.
In response to recent ship rebalancing and concept sales are any indicator, it would seem as though the temperature of the community as a whole is reaching a boiling point. On that note, I think it would be prudent of CIG to rework their public relations policies and teams, as this, I believe, is where
exactly, Canop. Exactly. We've been waiting for 6 years already. What's a few extra months to make sure that this is
features that aren't even on the production schedule, to showing a complete lack of integrity in their messaging and the way they walk decisions back without admitting they made a mistake, only to undo changes later on down the line, claiming the changes are made for the sake of balance. If I were them, I would adopt the strategy of complete transparency of what's happening right now and in the immediate future.
We've been saying that for a while.
And I would put a hard stop on doing 12 to 18 month projections on aspects of the game they haven't even started on. I would also take a good look at the net direction they want the project to go in.
True, they are mine,
like they keep making short-sighted
but I bought them
rather than
to
waiting
play
until
Star
they have
Citizen.
A picture before they push send.
And yes, I can play other games.
Of master modes without having the systems in place for them to function.
But they were originally bought for,
which basically makes them look like they're winging it and trying to save face during press releases after they figure out a quote-unquote solution several patches down the line.
But never with new money, always with
I know a lot of this sounds negative, but I promise all of you, it comes from a good place and with good intentions.
See, he says that, and I say that, and I say that, and I get absolutely panned in a video that I make where I point out the truth, or I point out something that they said, and somehow I'm the evil bad guy, and I'm just as bad as Grumpy, or I'm Grumpy's runoff sewage, or whatever the hell they come up with that day or that week. So I don't understand why he can say all these positive things, then say a few negatives and not get panned in the comment sections for being an asshole, and he's super negative about CIG. I'm positive to a degree, but I also am a realist in the fact that there are many problems in this project, from the gameplay to marketing to how it's run. to the nepotism on the board of directors. Like there are a lot of problems and they need to be resolved. And if it was another video game company, people wouldn't be giving them the they wouldn't make excuses up for them. They wouldn't move the goalposts for them. They wouldn't do the things that they do with CIG, to EA, to Ubisoft, to Blizzard, to Activision, to Microsoft, to to Naughty Dogs, to any one of those game companies, but they do it for CIG. And I don't understand why they're somehow shielded from it, and the large majority of the player base and the player community. I don't understand how they're shielded, but they are.
As backers of this project, we have the opportunity to give direct feedback to the teams at CIG. And I think it's important that we do so in an organized and conversational manner.
And yeah, I agree, Marcus. There's a lot
of
negative with their funding model.
I love Star Citizen. I love most of what it currently is, and I love all of what it's aiming to be. It's the only project of its kind, and it scratches an itch that no other game can. I really do believe in the vision it has.
It used to scratch my itch.
It's among the best I've ever encountered.
Now it's become my itch.
And I'm happy to be part of the community in my own small way, even if that means spending 20 hours a week making videos for exactly zero financial gain. My hope is, of course, that I'm wrong about what's coming our way, and that CIG is going to surprise us all with the successful launch of 4.0 into the PU. Because I can't wait
You're very
to get
hopeful,
started
kid.
exploring
You're very
new
hopeful.
lands with my org mates and friends that I've made here on YouTube. And with that, I think I'll end this video. Please remember to leave me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
All right, that's enough for that guy. It was an all right conversation. Simperooski. I'll share this with you guys. All right, see you, Marcus. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, now we got another one more Star Citizen video, and then we're gonna move away from that for a little bit. Where'd it go? Let me update this. Let me refresh it. Refresh it. Okay. Star Citizen. Spoke too soon. Testing you by Golgot100. Love this guy's videos.
Quel pronostic d'annonce pour la CitizenCon?
An announcement for CitizenCon?
4.0 soon. Ça va être ça, la plus grosse annonce de la CitizenCon, ça va être ça.
When was this? Oh, your ship just went bye-bye.
Well, we're finally back. Yeah, like doing ground missions with...
This guy is an absolute douche nozzle right here. This guy is an absolute doucher.
This stupid thing. There's no... I'm sorry. I didn't realize this thing was a submarine. What? Well, there you go, folks.
The beauty of having an engine like this
Landing gear
is
deployed.
that it just works.
It just works. Oh, there you go. There's your just works.
What happened? What?
Are you new to Star Citizen?
I'm sorry.
Huh?
What's happening?
Todo bene, ¿no? Todo bene.
Qué bien, vamos. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Tiene espacio? ¿Tiene espacio? ¿Cómo me he salido?
This game is sick. Like, genuinely, just like the bones. It's just I understand what they're shooting for is so ambitious. It's
like basically when I walk,
it's just like so I'm like getting blown in the air. Anyways, good game is my point. Good bones.
Okay, now it's
I have faith now.
I think I just got Star Citizen.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's standing on a chair. Ah, oh, god damn it! Come on, man!
This is too good.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, this is too
We
good.
can just like slap this anywhere, right? Hello?
Huh. Okay, so if you go back in time to the 3.18 patch, Marcus, not the Marcus that was in here, but another Marcus Wynn, he discovered that if you were on Lorville, you could adjust your seat a little bit, or adjust the ship just a little bit, hit the eject button, and you'd end up right outside of Everest Harbor. It was hilarious. We called them the size 25 ejection seats. They were... Oh, and it would shoot you through the hangars and stuff on Lorville, and through the hangars on various many space stations. Sometimes you'd hit the ceiling and then flop back down onto the ground, but it was still hilarious. You could be down on a planet and hit eject and be 30 kilometers above the planet. It was hilarious.
No shit. Look, it's actually working.
There you
Watch
go,
the hanger.
Oh, your stuff disappeared.
Maxo confía mucho también en Star Citizen, sí, y el... ¿Qué ha pasado ahí?
I can't believe you spent $1,000. I've only ever bought the base game and upgraded to the Cuddy Black.
Well, I believe in the game, so I trust SIG to do the best thing. Ow! The game just glitched and I crashed into a gas tank. Ouch.
Oh my god. This is too...
This is how these missions should feel.
At least Zero... I've seen Zero on Twitter a few times, and at least he is realistic about this stuff. Like, he does not praise this game as like the best game ever. He does make jokes about it, but he's pretty realistic in what he says on Twitter. I have a Twitter account, and god damn, Twitter is a cesspool.
Just like that.
Bye.
That's exactly how these missions should feel.
Okay. And I got a whole plethora of these things too, so we should not have to go down here
Oh god, he's wearing a Starship Enterprise shirt. No, he's not. It's something different.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Very interesting.
It's very interesting. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's terrifying and creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this is still better. Oh. I thought maybe it just hadn't loaded in.
Marvel Rivals, that's another great game.
Quantum, I do not recommend it. That's a one-way trip. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna get sucked out.
Maybe don't do that. Back here, we have the lounge.
He's gonna get sucked out.
Little cozy area.
Bye.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Yeah, and look at this landing pad. The most Star Warsy like landing area, I think. Oh. Here's the good news about Star Citizen. Star Citizen is continuing to get better.
Patch City, let's go.
Oh my
Tu sais quoi?
god.
Je vais même faire le mec un peu risqué.
I'll even do the slightly risky business. He fell and broke his neck. Oh, it's this guy again.
Alléluia, le hangar n'a pas les pop. Faut que j'apprenne à fermer ma gueule. Il faut que j'apprenne à fermer ma gueule.
I have Wiser.
Oh, it is working. No, it's not. CTD'd straight away. Oh, shit. Okay.
How do you feel about this 4.0 build? I think best one that's been out so far. There's been some issues for sure, but I definitely feel like it's the most...
Ça ressemble vachement.
Ooh, an expensive Star Citizen gamer. He's got them purples.
Ferme ta gueule!
So clean.
Oh, it's this guy, Darklaw.
I know.
Right, Mason? It's their PC. PC's the problem.
Eso, no me caí del mapa. ¡Me caí del mapa!
No mames.
I think the truth is, guys, is that CIG wants this to be a great PvE and PvP game. I don't think it's an argument on like which one's better or which one's more important.
Oh my god.
Oh, behind you, Airborne. Behind you. I can't pull a gun. Oh my god, server's locking up.
Oh, dude, you were like... Jeez.
Oh my. I shot this guy
And you're
point
dead.
blank and he didn't die. Okay.
You are dead.
All right. That's nice. How's my FPS? I mean, right now it's pretty decent. 50.
I mean, Star Citizen does, for me, it does scratch an itch, but here's the thing, guys. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. All right. And Grumpy knows this about me because he was like, so we played for a few days a couple of weeks ago, right? And you guys all saw the video that ended up getting made, you know, where Grumpy, you know, what was it called? Everyone quit Star Citizen, and it was kind of the new player experience, and it was me, Marcus, Canop, and Fateless standing around talking to the new guy, right? I played for 2 days, right, during that, and that was enough. That was enough for me. That was it. I'm done for a while. Like Grumpy was trying to get me to play 4.0 the other night, and I was just kind of like, nah, not really. I'm at work, and no, not really. And that's just how I feel. Like in a couple of months, I'll be ready. Maybe when it goes live, I'll jump in and play it. But it's not going to be like where I am like, oh, 4.0's live. I'm going to play for a week straight and then be like, oh, yeah, I quit again. No, I'm going to play for a day, maybe 2, get my fill of Star Citizen and move on. Because let's face it, it's not ready for prime time. And once you start playing other games, I mean, it's always fun to kill other people in any game. Honestly, I like PvP in games. Helldivers is the one unique exception because it's not a PvP game. It's just a lot of fun to play with your friends. But I digress. Like it's I don't know. When you play other games that are how do I say this politely, further along than Star Citizen is, you start to realize that your level of putting up with shit goes down.
E2 server FPS is like 15.
I agree.
But there's not that many people on the server. Actually,
yeah,
there's a decent amount. 288.
I have a lot of loyalty to, you know, Marcus.
Yeah, what does that mean? I wonder.
Pagan, Grumpy,
no
Star Streams.
Way.
You did.
I guess we'll find out next time. You know, I talked about the highlights, I talked about the negatives, and I said that there's only going to be one 4.0 launch. So essentially, I'm just hoping that CIG. Oh god. So, like I was saying, guys, I think it's ready for live. Is what I think. What the fuck? Hello? What? Okay, let's see if we can get out of here without dying.
Boom.
No!
Is he wearing a towel?
How's it going? It's going pretty well, man. The patch is chef's kiss. I really like it.
Oh, you're gonna die. Nope, you're gonna fall through the planet.
Oh yeah. It's going fantastic, man.
I'm in.
Oh god, it's salty.
That's right, okay? No bugs, guys. No bugs here. No bugs here.
Exactly. Don't forget to bring a towel when you're in space.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. One of our players are invisible. We have God on our side. Oh my god, I fell through the elevator.
Oh my god.
Last time I interacted with anything, I fell through this floor and fell through the planet.
You're gonna
So
fall.
we're just gonna try not to touch the ground.
Oh my gosh.
We made it onto the ship.
He's gonna get. Yep.
No.
I watched that happen to Pagan the other night with his Hull C.
It's what it has in it.
Is he playing with Salty?
Let's not like kill ourselves doing this, yeah? Like walk and
Allegedly,
stuff.
Yeah, he's playing with Salty. Ah!
It's okay.
No, some people it's not okay for them.
Okay. All right. Oh wow. This is unnerving. This is unnerving right here. Ah, all right. Thank you, Golgot, for the laughs. Thank you very much, Golgot. I appreciate you, dude. I very much do. Let's get back to over here. Give it that. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Let's do something non-Star Citizen for a little bit. Okay. My head hurts from Star Citizen at the moment. All right. Not Star Citizen. Not Star Citizen. Not Star Citizen. You know, you can't be a React channel if you don't have Viva La Dirt on, right?
Woo! All right, Jake, what's up, man?
Today, I would like to talk about the game store.
Yeah. Still making money?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank Christ. All right, what's next on the agenda?
Yeah. Whoa. That's not it.
Wait. Jake, are you gonna make us more money?
Okay.
Oh,
so
God.
we've all heard of what? Microtransactions.
Hell yeah, we have. It's a main money earner.
Oh yeah, ever since we implemented the in-game store all those years ago, it has been our biggest profit generator by a very big margin.
Great work, everybody. Great work. Big round of applause. That's awesome.
Ugh.
And to think it all started with the humble horse armor.
My biggest regret. So me and the monetization team have been thinking about how to increase profits even further.
Music to my ears.
We think we've come up with a solution that will make even more money from the in-game store.
I'm sorry. Can I just say something?
God! What? What, Abby?
It's just that I've been seeing a lot of negativity in the community about the amount of microtransactions we've been putting in the game.
This fucking community, they're the fucking worst.
Has anyone been complaining about me specifically?
No, it's mainly been about monetization.
So, mainly? So some of the complaints have been about me?
No, Jake, no one's been talking about you.
Oh.
The complaints have gotten especially worse since we've started putting links to the store on every single menu of the game, in addition to the pop-up ad when you first start the game, and the prompt to visit the store when you try to quit.
Oh, damn it. Why is it doing that? Like, Ubisoft is terrible with that, right? So one of the last Ubisoft games I played was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and you would start the game, it would give you the beautiful title screen, you push start or X or whatever, and then you get in there and it gives you the main screen, and you got like new game, load game, etc. And it's this whole side of the screen is purchase this, purchase that, purchase this, purchase this. In the middle, visit the game store. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Totally. Hey, Jake, is the store still making money?
Oh yeah. Ever since we implemented the exit through the gift shop patch, profits have skyrocketed.
Thank you,
Exit
Abby.
through the gift shop? Jesus.
Anyway, we think we've found a way to increase profits even further. Get this. Instead of microtransactions, can I get a drum roll, please? Macro transaction.
Oh, fuck me. They've been watching Star Citizen game stuff, haven't they? So now they're going to have $300 ships in their fantasy game. Is that where we're going now? No, not $300. $1,500 ships that aren't in the game yet. Okay. I got you.
Jake, you have my attention.
Okay, so right now our biggest money spinner is the golden thing. The
Way of the Light, Golden Aura Soldier.
Yeah, whatever. So that thing sells for $30. But what if it sold for $300?
I was right with my first prediction.
We can do it.
$300. We can do whatever we want.
On that, hypothetically, does that mean we could, I don't know, charge $1,000?
Yeah.
This is CIG marketing. This isn't Viva La Dirt. This is CIG marketing.
Yeah.
$1,000?
Yeah.
For what?
Who gives a fuck? It's $1,000.
We could also release premium loot boxes for 10 times the price.
And what would make them so premium.
They cost more.
And?
I don't know, they'll be f***ing golden or something.
I can make them golden.
God, Jake, I could kiss you right now. This is amazing.
I think this is going to
make us a whole lot of money. Yeah, I think it will. Yeah.
Delvin, are you okay with this?
No, this is a marketing thing. This is
Oh,
not a Delvin
God,
thing.
Jesus Christ.
This is a marketing thing, not a Delvin thing.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, Clint.
Yeah. Get over here. Money making best friends for life. Yeah.
Which one of them is Chris? This guy is Chris.
We've done away with macro transactions.
We've got macro transaction.
Yeah, right here on YouTube.
Hit any of those buttons, it'll cost you $500.
We figured it out.
Are
you gonna risk it?
Yeah.
The bold play.
Bold play.
Click a button, see how much.
What do you think it's gonna work?
See how much it costs you. Just click a button.
Yeah.
Please don't get angry with us.
Oh, that was pretty funny. We already watched that. We're not going to watch that again. No, stop. We already watched that. Let me go back. I need to share it. I have to share it. Okay. What time is it? We're going to do one more short video, and then we're going to wrap it up with 20-30 minutes of Battletech, as we have been recently. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Where's a shorter one, huh? Where's a shorter one that's not Star Citizen? Where's a shorter one that's not Star Citizen? I don't think we got one. I don't think we have one. All right, here we go. Here's a short one.
Hi, sir. We're gonna get you.
Wait. This is Andrew Russo, and it's called "If Other Products." Oh my God! Bleh, bleh, bleh. If other products launched like video games. I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'll probably end up playing Marvel Rivals. I got to stay up all night long, anyways.
Hi, sir. We're gonna get you today. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, I'll just get one muffin, please. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Here you go. One muffin. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Where's the rest of the muffin? That's it. This can't be it. Like, where's the full muffin? This is the pre-launch early access version of muffin. It's really the core muffin experience you can enjoy now, but we work on the rest. Okay, but I bought a full muffin.
Oh my God. This is exactly how I feel when somebody's like, oh, this new game, like let's take Forever Winter, for example. Oh, Forever Winter's launching. Oh, is it the full game? No, it's the early access. This is what I know is coming. I'm not going to get the full muffin. And sure enough, you don't get the full muffin. Oh, look, Star Citizen, Gray Zone, Gray Zone left me really disappointed. You want to know what's funny? I'm going to go off on a side rant here. So I made that video about Gray Zone Warfare 6 months after its release, right? Its early access release. And once again, I got flamed in the comment section about how I'm not a real fan. I don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody takes breaks. Don't worry, the player count will go way up when they release the newest update. Well, the newest update came out, and the newest update introduced day-night cycle, night vision goggles, some new weapons, some new lootables, supposedly fixed AI a little bit. And you want to know what's incredible? It went from approximately 500 players, 500 to 800 players, depending on if it was a weekend or not, to a whopping grand total of 6,000. 6,000 though, 6,000 people. And what's sad about that is they sold 1.1 million copies. 6,000 people is 0.00001% of the entirety of people that bought that game. Where the fuck is everybody? Oh, I know. They probably refunded, or they have no interest in the game until it actually releases as a 1.0 with an actual factual release, and not this early access tier 0 bullshit that we're getting from many game companies that we get like that. So, I'm sorry to say, and Grumpy, you're correct, I'm not one of the 220 real fans that, plays Gray Zone. I wish I could get a refund on that game. I really do. Anyways,
The full muffin? So you'll be able to get the full muffin in the coming months. You said months? 4 years, but this is the essence of muffin. It's the soul of muffin. No, it's not. It's missing the top. That's like the best part. Okay, so muffin top is still in development, but it should be ready by muffin patch 1.2. Man, I just want the whole muffin, like the one that I saw on the display, like the one that you were advertising. So it's kind of in beta testing right now. Would you want to subscribe now to get full access in the future?
Why does muffin taste
like broccoli? I don't even think I can eat this. Sounds like a skill issue. Have you tried rechecking the connection between your taste buds and your brain? Okay, now it just tastes like depression. Sorry, I hope you can keep in mind that we're just a small, humble, indie muffin shop driven by passion and our 700 employees. No, you're not. You're owned by one of the biggest muffin companies out there. Invite a friend to eat muffin with you and get 15% off crumble topping. The fuck? What are you talking about? Hey, I want to let you know that we just started working on Muffin 3, Rise of Muffington. What happened to Muffin 2? We're really excited about it, but we're taking pre-orders before we start baking. Any interest? Okay, pre-order. Why? Are you gonna sell out or something? No, that's impossible. Do you have a van? No, I do not. Yeah, so Muffin...
We're only going to put 5 interests on the website because, we can make unlimited amounts, but, we just really want you to spend a lot of money right now. So we're going to limit the amount. We're going to put artificial limitations on that JPEG.
In 3, we can only sell it in batches of 50,000. Who has the space for that, man? Can I just return this and get my money back? Oh, no. Who wants a nibbled on, gross, shitty half a muffin? Now, if we were to put a drawing of Kendrick on a spaceship on the muffin wrapper, would that make it taste better? Okay, I think I get it now. Is this a scam? This is a scam. This is a scam. It's a scam. Yeah, this is a scam. Okay, appreciate it. This is a scam, we're thieves. Yeah, awesome. This is a scam, we're thieves. This happened the last time that I came here? Well, then why do you keep coming back? Because I must be a silly bitch. Because you're a silly bitch? Okay, great. Okay, yeah. I'm just a silly bitch. This is all for profit. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine finding it.
Wow. That said so much in such a little amount of time. It's unbelievable. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you have not eaten muffin long enough to know what you're talking about. Are you a muffin baker? Are you a muffin baker? Yeah, I didn't think so. Shut your mouth. You don't know anything about this game. I'm sorry. Are you a muffin baker? You don't know anything about muffin. Right. Oh my God. This said so much in 2 minutes. It said so much about our current video game industry. It's unbelievable. It's so good. It's so good. All right. We're going to do the 20-30 minutes of the BattleTech stuff. And then I'm going to go take a break, eat, and I'll be back. Yeah. If one does not know muffin, then you cannot muffin.
Systems is
Richard. All right. So to catch you guys up on what's going on, this is BattleTech. It was a tabletop game, RPG game, battle game with big stompy robots that came out. I think it debuted in 1979. It was called Battle Droids. Got turned into BattleTech after being sued by Star Wars and Robotech. They turned into BattleTech, and they've been thriving as BattleTech since 1981 or 82 until current day. It has a ridiculous... Oh, you're all good, Jim. It has a ridiculous amounts of history and lore. And when the first tabletop version of this game came out, the stuff that we are watching is prehistory, so to speak. It's called the Ameris Civil War. There was this thing called the Star League. It was like Space UN, and Ameris, where we last left off, has murdered the first prince of the Star League, and is beginning his hostile takeover of Star League. And we're going to learn about one of the crazier sides of BattleTech here now in a moment. And this is Big Tex, Tex, otherwise known as the Black Pants Legion. Fantastic voice, fantastic lore videos. Highly recommend them. So take it away, Tex.
Cameron had shown their operation in great detail to his bestest best friend many a time. However, Stefan had himself a fucking problem. The goddamn Black Watch.
Which is a very real unit.
Let me tell you about the Black Watch. The Royal Black Watch, or 191st Royal Battle Mech Division, could trace its lineage back to ancient Scotland of Terra in 1725 as a volunteer militia for the purposes of keeping watch for crime. By the 28th century, they had significantly evolved. In the purest terms, the Black Watch was no joke. They were not a parade unit. They were not a propaganda piece to scare people into leaving the royal family alone, and they did not idly bask in their royal regiment status. They were the chosen protectors of House Cameron, and thus the first family of Star League. The Black Watch was not a bauble or a plaything. They were a ruthlessly loyal fighting force dedicated to their duty.
Oh, yeah.
They were a hardened group of warfighting experts given the finest equipment humanity could muster, along with the best training of any regiment in the Inner Sphere. In addition, each and every one of them were graduates of the Gunslinger program, which in Battletech is the equivalent of saying they're all pretty goddamn amazing at their job and
it's like being
spent
a
their
Top
entire
Gun
military
graduate.
career in Special Forces level training just for instances like this. They had a single duty which they took very seriously. That duty was to protect the royal family. The royal family which Stefan had just decided to harm. When one of Stefan's idiot goons managed to trip an alarm in the throne room and get vaporized in the process, the Black Watch was alerted, activated, and immediately went into battle. That's not to say the RimWorld's Republic military hadn't planned to fight them. Amaris had been thorough. Amaris had ensured his best were armed and equipped for the task at hand.
Yeah, but it's the fucking Black
elite
Watch.
forces had expended an enormous amount of time and effort to train for the purposes of taking Unity City, securing Amaris's person, and eliminating any remnant of the SLDF forces on the planet before the day was out.
Not gonna
For
happen.
months and months, they had brought equipment and personnel to the region and
will
trained for this day. They knew in full the operation and workings
Love
of the
this
SLDF,
artwork.
their garrison strengths and battle plans. The coup required total suppression of all SLDF garrisons on Terra for this to work, and Amaris had reinforced his own forces to ensure total victory.
I also like the way their
Amaris's
VTOLs
forces had in
look.
fact drawn up
that's
extensive plans to kill
horribly
every last member of the Black Watch and
blurry.
trained exhaustively for a very long time to accomplish this singular mission with high efficiency. Unfortunately for them, though, the Black Watch was the stuff of legend. Immediately after the alarm was tripped, Amaris's goons almost lost their initiative as the first wave of Royal Defense troops jump-packed onto the roof of the palace and tried to breach to slay all opposition. While Amaris had the foresight to cause an HPG blackout, cutting communications off-world, the palace's alarm systems were sterner stuff.
Probably gonna
As
end it
first
after this one,
responders,
but
the
I'll
Black
keep it
Watch
for the
Marine
next-
infantry
the next
proceeded to
one.
assault the throne room. Their job was to secure the royal family, eliminate any threats, and get them away from danger, while the rest of the Black Watch powered up their equipment at nearby Fort Cameron. Cutting through the roof and throwing satchel charges,
Okay,
the
we
Black
can
Watch
close-
Marine
is it
infantry
long?
assault teams almost killed Amaris right then, who did his best to hide and scream for
Oh, it's short. Okay, we can close it off with that.
Meanwhile, the 4th Amaris Dragoons commander had a problem. He needed to get his main forces to the palace in Unity City, where Amaris's bodyguard was desperately fighting against the Black Watch Marine infantry. The main issue was that between his position and Amaris's was the Black Watch garrison.
One of the things that I very much enjoy about Battletech is the amount of lore and history that goes into this game, and the lore and the history of this game has continuously evolved over the last 40 years. What's cool about this game is, unlike Warhammer, where the codices change all the time and rules change and armies change, they have, for the most part, left their rules unchanged for the last 30 years, and they don't do these big updates where now your armies of plastic painted men are worthless and you have to buy new stuff. They don't do that to you. So that's really cool. And one of the things that I appreciate even more about this is that you have specific units designated to each of the inner sphere houses, even mercenary groups to an extent, that are, you have your regulars and then you have your best of the best of the best, sir, with honors. And those guys are to be feared and not fucked with. And the game does a very good job of letting you know that there are units like that in this reality that they've built in the game, and it's a lot of fun, especially if somebody's playing as one of those units and they actually play them appropriately. It's good fun.
Which was now on full alert. All Amaris would have to do is get his 4th Dragoons into the city in force and his coup would be secure. All the Black Watch would have to do is fight like mad bastards until the SLDF reinforcements arrived. And in this outcome, the entire inner sphere held in the balance. Amaris had prepared his men extensively for this very moment. They had the initiative, training, and numbers. They had all the data required to make this happen. All they had to do was to defeat a depleted garrison just now waking up. This would, however, be easier said than done. The coup was not isolated to the palace alone. Amaris' men had set off explosives and fires throughout Unity City to wreak mass confusion among first responders. Amaris' troops had even the foresight to effect, as I said, a communications blackout before deploying a series of precision nuclear strikes on the Blackwatch base as soon as the alert went up.
Damn.
With the nuclear strike wiping out most of Fort Cameron, remaining SLDF forces in the capital were down to just the Blackwatch commander Hani Schmidt and her 8 mech warriors, who had just escaped destruction moments earlier by being on standby alert when things started to go to shit. Colonel Henning.
You know, you have a problem unit on your hands when you have to resort to nuking them. That's pretty crazy.
Schmidt was hard as nails, and she knew her forces were the only thing in the way to stop Amaris' 4th Dragoons from entering the city in full force. She decided to stop them for as long as humanly possible. She knew every second she held would be, potentially, to save the day. Every second she held might grant the Blackwatch Marine Infantry time to kill Amaris, who they now had pinned down in the throne room.
Nice.
Every minute might give a chance to reverse the communications blackout and get an alert broadcast to the inner sphere at large. Every minute might give the royal family time to escape. So Hani Schmidt took her mech warriors into hell to buy time. And amazingly, for a time, she stopped the 4th Amaris Dragoons dead. No matter what Amaris' lead forces, with all of their preparation, training, advantage in numbers, and equipment, threw at the Black Watch, they kept coming. They'd nuked their base, and still, some of them had survived. They then threw wave after wave of mechs,
fucking Blackwatch is badasses,
infantry, and aerospace assets, which all bore down on the Blackwatch, and onward the Blackwatch marched, crushing and burning and destroying everything the Dragoons could muster. Dutifully, they fought, repelling every attempt of Amaris' forces to break through. They knew they had to buy time. They knew no fear but a job undone. Outnumbered and fighting like mad bastards, 2 lances of the Black Watch held up the entire 4th Amaris Dragoons. And so began the final stand of the legendary Black Watch. At Gorst Flats with Puget Sound to one side and Forested Hills on the other, the Black Watch made their final stand, forcing the vastly superior numbers of the 4th Amaris Dragoons to engage them at essentially point-blank range. Desperately, the 4th Amaris Dragoons sent everything they had at them and watched in absolute horror as the Black Watch blew them away like dandelions. Wave after wave, some of the best Amaris had died to the Black Watch effortlessly, who cut them down with mechanical precision. The Black Watch held the line, hoping to tie up the Amaris Dragoons long enough for loyal forces to regain control of Unity City, or at least kill Amaris. The 2nd Battalion of Amaris' 4th Dragoons were pushed into action and were nearly annihilated in an instant. 2 of the very best companies the RimWorld's Republic ever had were cut to pieces before they could respond or cry out. No matter what the Dragoons threw at them, the Black Watch refused to die.
I think it's
Every
extreme
single
zoom in.
attack was repulsed, often with no survivors save the Black Watch waiting somewhere out there in the dark. Amaris was by this time panicking. This wasn't going down like it should have. No one was supposed to be this hard to kill. Time was ticking down, and sooner or later SLDF reinforcements would arrive, potentially ending the coup. He saw all of his hard work, all of his family's hard work, his legacy slipping through his fingers. He urged his troops to do anything to stop the Black Watch. Desperate and running out of time, the 4th Ameris Dragoons lost so much goddamn equipment to the Black Watch that they had one desperate option left. The 4th Ameris Dragoons and their rushed reinforcements resorted to surrounding the Black Watch with sheer numbers, pinning them down with all the firepower they could muster, and continually throwing inordinate amounts of manpower at them to prevent them from moving, and then dropping a series of nuclear bombs on the whole lot.
Wow.
Decimating their own forces in nuclear hellfire just to try to kill them, just to end the threat of the Black Watch. The last surviving footage of the battle shows the Black Watch commander and 4 remaining Black Watch mech warriors gunning down a Rimworld's archer as the double flash hit. Maris's own 4th Dragoons barely survived in time to save him from the Black Watch Marines trying to cut their way into the audience chamber and gut him like a pig. As most historians will say, the Black Watch was technically destroyed that day, except for a handful of the regiment that still escaped all of that and survived. Yes, the Black Watch is that hard to kill. Nukes are merely inconvenient. These crazy lads and lasses did not sulk for their dead comrades. They
Nukes are merely an inconvenience.
They did not disappear as one might after a coup. No, they had a duty. From the irradiated rubble of Fort Cameron, deep from the bunkers beneath it, 5 members of the Black Watch survived. Under Captain Elizabeth Hazen, they would escape the battlefield to form the Ghosts of the Black Watch as a...
Also, and I don't know if he's going to say it, I should let him finish, but Colonel Hazen also becomes, I think she becomes the founding Khan of Clan Jade Falcon, but that's another story.
Guerrilla movement in order to carry the fight on for generations if need be. They vowed vengeance upon Ameris. They vowed vengeance upon his people, his armies, his administrators, and his cause. The Black Watch would haunt Ameris until he died. And, well, some would suggest those who died in the nuclear attack were buying time for something far greater, trading their lives for the purpose of distraction. Rumors and later controversial evidence would indicate some of them escaped with an unknown number of House Cameron, disappearing far beyond the reach of Ameris.
I don't think that's true, but
I've covered that elsewhere. All across the Inner Sphere, similar betrayals were playing out, with Rimworld's Republic forces suddenly decisively turning on the depleted, undermanned, and under-equipped SLDF garrisons.
For those of you new,
these
the reason why everything is depleted is there's another war going on
in the periphery. For many months, Rimworld's Republic forces had replaced their numbers, worming their way into defense systems and preparing for the day of betrayal.
Yup.
Ameris had, at enormous cost to him and his Rimworld's Republic, amassed an army of over 450 regiments to hold the hegemony. This army had, for the past year, slowly wormed its way into the hegemony and prepared with extensive training for just this very moment. A coup designed to be a sledgehammer blow against the heart of Star League. Often enough, Rimworld's forces would use nuclear or biological weapons in a sneak attack to ensure...
So one thing I want to make very, very clear to you guys, during the Reunification War, the Ameris Civil War, before the Civil War, there was the Periphery War that was going on, the Ameris Civil War, the First Succession War, and the Second Succession War, which spans about 100-ish years, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit less. Back then, when it came to nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons, have you ever seen those share size, like M&M's, Skittles, those sort of things for like candy or chips or whatever? They got share size now. Well, groups of the Inner Sphere were not afraid of sharing their nukes, their biological weapons, their chemical weapons with the other side. They very much enjoyed pushing buttons and then planting a flag on a scorched piece of earth or gassed out piece of earth and go, yeah, we won. So Yeah, they like their button pushing and exploding entire planets. Now it's not like Star Wars where the whole planet explodes. It's just, they just like to use nukes and chemical weapons and biological weapons, but we'll get into that later.
Sure
Always
that the regular
war.
SLDF
Humans
units
are good at
didn't have
always
any
war.
chance of retaliating or warning other garrisons. Suddenly,
For democracy,
Starleague
that's
forces
right.
found themselves overwhelmed by an enemy that had worked alongside them long enough to know their weaknesses inside and out. Massive nuclear bombardment was the reward for anyone who resisted. If anyone was capable of resisting with sufficient force, Stefan Amaris began using the threat of killing the First Lord, who none save Amaris knew was already dead.
That's fucked.
Faced with their lord being possibly alive, some garrisons would lay their arms down out of loyalty or hope that the First Lord would somehow survive. Others surrendered that day, seeing Starleague as a lost cause and laying their arms down to save their skins. Many more died at their stations till their last, screaming for help that would never arrive. A bare handful, though, escaped to fight and resist for years to come. In a single day, Amaris had achieved his objective: near total RimWorld's Republic control of many core.
And also that goes along with this. He didn't just secure one planet. He secured dozens upon dozens of planets like this, all in, I guess, what you would call a 0-hour attack, where all of them all went off at the same time, shut off. And you got to remember too, in this era of technology, moving messages from one planet to another, there's a stationary building called a hyperpulse generator, and that's where all communications get funneled to and from planet to planet, is in that one area or a couple areas on the planet. So once they were able to shut those down, take control of them, move in, take the garrisons and any supporting troops, they now had full control over that planet, and nobody knew what was going on outside of that planet. And eventually they shut down, I think it was like 2/3 of the entire Terran hegemony off from the outside world. So nobody knew what was going on except for, well, those that knew or were involved in this.
Or Terran hegemony systems. Throughout the hegemony, RimWorld's Republic military operations struck with perfect synchronization, occupying SDS platforms and planetary defense installations. Throughout
SDS platforms are incredibly powerful. They basically are system defense platforms. They can defend nearly entire planetary systems. They're crazy. They're super powerful, and they're very much automated. You only really need a skeleton crew on them, and they have all the toys one could want to wage war off of these SD platforms.
The heart of Starleague, SLDF forces were surprised and murdered at their posts. In a single day, the majority of the hegemony was occupied by the RimWorld's Republic and Stefan Amaris. The orchestrated communications blackout had enabled the RimWorld's Republic to strike with near total
HPG
surprise.
right there.
And many months of preparation made transition of power nearly clean. Soon enough, the entire hegemony and core SLDF holdings would be under Amaris' thumb. One man now controlled two vast empires, and potentially the whole of the inner sphere as an usurper. He controlled, in theory, the banks, the FTL Communications First Circuit, the vast Starleague bureaucracy, and the assets of two tremendous empires. However, there was one last piece of business to attend: the rest of the family Cameron. You see, the Camerons were Starleague. The Starleague logo is their house seal, after all. For generations, they'd ruled it, run it, and for better or worse, held it together. Maris realized they were a threat and decided to sort them out in the traditional manner of an usurper. First, he gave them the chance of joining him, which some took after considering the alternatives. Regardless of what was promised or threatened,
right there.
Damaris was fucking crazy. Once the killing started, he just continued on killing until they were all gone. With the last of their bodies on the cold throne room floor, he sealed it, turning the seat of humanity's power into House Cameron's final tomb.
That's
Throughout all
man.
hegemony territory, vast efforts were soon underway to wipe out any relic of Cameron rule or Star League. This was to be a new empire after all, and the old ways had to be ground to dirt. Through this transition, the great houses of the Inner Sphere took a neutral tack. They were smart enough to realize that eventually all governments topple, and on occasion new blood comes at the expense of old blood. As well, the great houses of the Inner Sphere were eager to see how this all played out. After all, in their eyes, House Cameron had...
And you got to remember, too, the 5 houses, Liao, Davian, Karita, Steiner, Merrick, they've all had their armed forces neutered and gave their power to the Terran hegemony, otherwise known as the Star League. And the Star League, being the UN, was supposed to protect all of them. And now that they're gone, they pretty much have to bend the knee, or these guys will just, you know, slaughter them too.
This coming. The House militaries individually didn't have the power to conquer Amaris, nor did they have the want to do so. Amaris had not conquered their holdings, after all. In addition, there was an unsolved issue. The Star League Defense Force was the single most expensive military-industrial investment in centuries, and while their assets in the hegemony were now captured or gone, the remainder of the SLDF were still fighting in the periphery at this time. It was soon clear that until the matter of the SLDF's ultimate loyalty was handled, Maris only really ruled as an usurper. Until the SLDF was aligned to the rule of Stefan Amaris or disbanded, the permanency of the coup was still hanging in the air. The SLDF was waiting for news, having in the meantime conquered New Vandenberg and more or less gained an upper hand in the periphery. However, Kerensky sent news to the now deceased Richard Cameron, and he received no reply. This wasn't immediately a cause for panic. Kerensky knew Richard and he were on shaky ground at best. Kerensky knew the kid didn't favor him, regardless of why. And so, Kerensky waited. In January, news began to circulate about an HPG glitch in the hegemony, the first circuit of SL Comnat being seemingly crippled. While communications had been rerouted through secondary channels, the HPG traffic to the hegemony had not been restored. By late January, people began to notice in panic that no traffic from Terra was forthcoming. The hegemony central bank defaulted by failing to authorize routine SLDF wait.
That's when you know it's fucked, is when the bank defaults, then you know something's wrong. It's kind of like when the garbage, like, say what you say about, you can say what you want to say about the ending of the world and whatnot, but I think a movie called Children of Men really nailed it. You know, you don't really see the end of the world until the phones stop working, the banks don't pay out, and the garbage isn't being picked up. That's when you know it's hit rock bottom. Society has hit rock bottom. The garbage isn't being picked up anymore.
Wage and upkeep payments. It is known that in the event of HPG malfunction, the Star League government would revert to courier-handled communications traffic. However, every Star League courier sent into the hegemony failed to ever report in again. General Kerensky smelled a rat.
Don't worry, I promise you Cameron is fine. He's playing in the next room with his toy soldiers or something.
Any news.
That blood was always,
would be Amaris who would break the silence. Amaris would declare himself emperor on 31 January 2767 in an open address to the Inner Sphere.
Damn.
He indicated he had usurped and replaced Richard Cameron, but left his ultimate fate unknown. It would take until February the 4th for it to reach New Vandenberg and Kerensky's ears. As self-proclaimed First Lord, Stefan Amaris' first official order was to try to get a hold on the SLDF and either gain their loyalty or keep them busy until he could neutralize them as a threat. After declaring Star League to be renamed the Amaris Empire, Amaris ordered as Emperor for General Kerensky to maintain pressure on the Taurian Concordat breakaway region. He offered to make General Kerensky a very powerful man, offering to have Kerensky as his sword arm, to bring law and justice and order once more to humanity. Kerensky was no fool, for he had long suspected who Amaris was, and he realized what was going on. And so Kerensky made a choice that would change everything. Kerensky said no.
Badass.
Thus began the Ameris Civil War.
Badass. All right, he's got a long thing of credits and stuff that he puts up. So, yeah, if you guys want to watch this in its entirety, there you go. We'll start part 2 soon-ish. I'm not sure when I'm going to do another Hot Take Tuna Tuesday with the holidays coming up and everything being in flux like that. Grumpy sent me one more video, so we're going to watch that. And I'm going to end it at the end of that video. Here we go.
In this Titan Quest,
yeah, no, I'm not watching Titan Quest today. I hit the wrong button. We're not watching Titan Quest today. Where's... Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, let's see what Grumpy sent us. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. It's simple, that simple. The best oh my god. The best speech to the gaming industry ever. Sven Vink at the Game Awards. Okay, let's hear what he's got to say.
Please welcome last year's winner from Larian, Sven Vinka.
Vinka.
I realize you guys have been sitting here for over 3 hours, but I still have some time credits from last year to cash in. So it turns out that not only will I be the one who will know as first which game wins tonight, but I actually also know which game is going to win next year, the year after, and the year after. Now, how do I know this? Well, an oracle told me. She said, change is coming. It's a modern oracle, so they made me sign an NDA, but I trust all of you. I know you can keep a secret. You will never leak it. The Oracle told me that the Game of the Year 2025 was going to be made by a studio who found the formula to make it up here on stage. It's stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps on getting lost. Studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before. They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to serve as a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. And furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design. They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't.
I really hope publishers, game development teams, game development studios are taking notes, because this is how you do a video game. Look, I have not played Baldur's Gate 3. It's not my style of game. When it's a top-down game like that, I don't want it to be turn-based. I want it to be a clicky game, and I want to see monsters explode with loot falling, like just loot vomiting all over the screen. That's what I want to see. That's why I like games like Diablo 2, Path of Exile, Last Epoch, you know, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I like those type of games. Now, if you were telling me this was a I don't know. I just don't like that style of game for what Baldur's Gate 3 is. If you like it, fine. I'm not going to belittle you. I'm not going to say that your choice of game sucks, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I may not enjoy that style of game, but what he is saying, what I've seen of that game, what I've heard other people talk about, what other people have shared with me, that is how you make a game and make it for your consumer base.
Treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions. They knew were short-sighted in function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow.
Yes.
They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun.
Yeah.
They understood the value of respect. That if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple, said the Oracle. Winning Game of the Year turned out to be a life-changing event for us. It was an amazing thing. To those who will win Game of the Year 2024, you have no idea what's waiting for you. It's an incredible honor, and you're in for a heck of a ride. Now remember, should you be told to wrap it up for tonight, you can always come back next year and chat for 3 minutes, okay? So, now, to pay tribute to the nominees for Game of the Year, once again, Lorna Balfe and the TGA Orchestra.
Cool. That was a very good speech. That was really good. That was really, really good. I'm going to share that with you guys. That was really good. I wish more game studios operated like that. They need to operate more like that, because what we've been getting from the gaming studios is terrible. It's terrible these days. And it's like we were just goofing around with a little, you know, a half an hour, 40 minutes ago about the muffin thing, right? And it's an early access muffin. That needs to stop. It really does. Yeah. Excuse me. I had a really good time hanging out with you guys tonight. Thank you, as always, for coming here and clicking the like and the sub button and the follow button and all of that stuff. Like, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate you guys. If you missed the beginning of the stream, or you somehow skipped all the way to this part in the VOD, go back and watch the beginning. I got a lot of channel announcements there and some things that you can look forward to that. Coming up in 2025. And yeah, I'm gonna go and take a break, and I gotta stay up all night long, so I'm sure I'll be talking to Canop and Grumpy and maybe playing some Helldivers or Marvel Rivals. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. I really love you all. And with that, so long. And thanks for all the fish, and I'll see you guys in the next one soon. Hopefully very soon. Later, guys.